Okay guys, so here we are. This is the trim from that we were working on. The other video I have up there, if you watch that, was getting this off of the car. Showed you how to pull that. We got our felt. This is the felt for it. It goes inside here. There's little staples that go all the way around this. You can see the little holes there where they go. I ground off the head of the staples and clean that all up. But in that, when you put the new felt, there's no holes in this new felt piece, so you have to drill the holes. And when you're you don't think about it till you're getting ready to do it. But so if you put this felt up here, now I can't see the holes, and it's very hard. You only have this little gap in here, and I can't see the holes where the old staples were. So you could try and mark it, but your chances of hitting those holes right on the money is it's just not. So I'm just drilling new holes. I think that's the best option. So I've just been drilling holes, putting the little staples in, and then trying to bend them over. You can see, I think you can maybe see, yeah, I got like 3 staples in this thing so far. And you have to get in, I don't know if you guys can see very well. Yeah, right in there. It's very narrow. Hard to fit anything in there to sandwich those over. And these are stainless staples. The factory, I think they use regular steel, so it was softer. These stainless ones do not bend very easy. So let me show you here what I came up with. What I thought I came up with. So I came up with this idea. I thought it seemed in my head, it seemed like a good idea, but it just doesn't work. So my idea was just like a stapler that you have on a desk, right? I cut 2 little rounded, grooves in it with my little die grinder, so they were round. So I was hoping it would act like a staple gun. The staples would curl over when they went in there. And the other side of it, open these up. There we go. So the other side, I cut a groove across it to hold the top of the staple in it so it would push down on the staple. And then I had drilled 2 holes in the top of it that a staple will fit into across there. So when you put the staple in there and then try and squeeze this down, and I thought it would roll those over, but it did not work. It was a good idea. But what I have found that I think this will work for, I don't know if I can show you guys this. Here, I'll hold this up here, is putting this in here, if I can. Putting that in there, and that gives me an exact spot I can drill right through there into the trim, so that the staple will fit instead of trying to line a staple up and then guess and come close, but it's a little bit off. Hopefully that'll work to be a fixture to at least drill it, but it definitely did not bend the staples over. So that was attempt 1. So then, using combination of all my needle nose pliers, got to get them started bent over, but I ended up taking my needle nose vice grips and grinding down the tip of them. You can kind of see, yeah, I just ground it down a little bit up there at the nose, so it will fit inside this gap. And once you get it started, you can kind of get the vice grips in there and then, sandwich each side over and tighten it up and smash it over. So I've done one. I'm going to do another one here. We're going to see if it works. So I don't know. We'll just It's the best way I've found. Like I say, it's very tedious, very slow. I got a lot of them to do on this car, but uh, I just don't know any other way. I've tried a bunch of different methods, and nothing seems to bend these over as nice and neat as I would like them to be. So, anyway, let's see what we can do. So I think I'd like to get one in this corner. This trim's a little bit off, so I'm going to get a staple in here, and then I'm going to start curving this around so it follows the curve better. Where is... All right, so pliers. Yeah, let's see. See if that works good here. So yeah, I designed, like I said, this for a whole nother purpose, but I think it's going to work good for holding this and drilling it. Nice. Yeah, that worked good for that. At least it does something. Sure as heck didn't bend the staple over, that's for sure. I did a lot of searching online trying to find a better way, or I was mainly looking to see if there was a tool I could get. But there isn't. So these are spread out a little bit. You can see they come in the bag. They're splayed out just a little bit, so I've just been bending them back straight because that's what I drilled that for. Didn't quite go all the way through on that one, so just give it a little love there. Yeah, this is the painstaking kind of boring part about hot rod building, right? We like everything to go quick and get it done. This is definitely not quick at all. All right. So there you can see it through the stainless. Keeps getting Try not to bend it. So then, at this point, you gotta get them started bent over. This is where it gets tricky, because once you get one side, there's nothing to pull the other side. So you're trying to just bend it, and it, you know, when they're both there, you can squeeze them together and one of them will fold. Physics will tell you they're both not gonna come in together. Only one side or the other side is gonna go, and that's the problem you're on. So then you just gotta work it. Try and bend this one up there. That's where the vice grips kind of come in. You want to get all the way up in there at the bend so you can really get that thing bent good in there. All right, it's not perfect, and it's not quite like factory, but as you can see, they're both bent over up in there, and the corners stapled, the staples down under the felt, and that's pretty much, no rocket science to it, but that is the best way I found. Seems to be the quickest way. And then I just been where I put the staple here, I just take a little wire brush and kind of just fluff up that felt a little bit right there to kind of help hide that staple again, so don't rub the glass. You don't want that happening. So there's that one. And the bend on this is not quite right, so I'm gonna try and recurve this a little. So yeah, you can see here maybe. So you can see how that is. If I bring the trim up where it should go, you can see it doesn't line up with the, or bring the felt up with the trim, it doesn't line up, so it needs to be the same. Maybe you can see it better if I turn it around. So if I just left it the way that it is, see how that does that it's right now it's fairly nice, but if I brought it up the way that they have it bent, see how that trim sticks up a little? I definitely don't want that. So I'm just gonna try and recurve it. This stuff was pretty sure this stuff comes in a straight strip and they bend them to fit. They probably have a jig or something that they're bent to fit, but every car is a little bit different. So we're just going to go just real easy with it. See if we can't reshape it just a hair. Just put that on there to hold that. Real delicate. It doesn't need a lot. That's a little nicer. I like that better. So, man. All right. I'm going to do another one right here. I'll just hold it like that. Get on the straights, it's a little easier. Yeah, not a, let's see, I'm not perfect and I don't know everything. I kind of winging it, so trying to figure this out as I go. Like I say, this is probably the best thing I could come up with. I was hoping I was going to come up with some fancy kick-ass way for you guys to do this at home. Maybe if I made a tool or something like I tried with this one and was hoping it would work and I could make them for you guys. But yeah, that didn't work out so well. So here we are, just doing it kind of a primitive way, really. But it's the only way that seems to work. So, one staple at a time. Definitely not a quick job, but all right. So, yeah, like I say, you can get, see in there, you can always get one to bend over, but squeezing the two together, you're not going to get both of them. So that's when you break out the old vice grips. This is actually working pretty good for, being the only way that I could see it was gonna work. I just wish there was a better way to bend this other side. I thought about putting it in a vise and all of that. That just doesn't work either, because then you end up mashing up your trim. And so the best way is just to try and get somewhat of a bend, and then get these ground down vice grips in there, and it seems to work pretty good that way. Nobody's ever going to see these staples. They're hidden once it's back together. I just want it to fit properly on the door, you know. That's all I care about. I'm not going for a beauty pageant here for looks on it. Like I say, nobody's going to see it once it's on the car. There we go. There's another one. So, I think I'll do probably a couple more here. This ends right here. It doesn't go any farther than right there, I do believe. So maybe we'll do one there and one here. Should be enough for on here, and then we'll work on the top side up here. So that's one thing too. Until you're done with whatever little part you're working on, like we're working on this felt on this one trim, and I took this old piece off. A lot of guys tend to clean up the shop and throw everything away and go on, but I have found in all my building is to hang on to stuff like this, at least till we're done with this piece. You know, the others are going to have their own, they're going to be different, but I can always bring this back and look at it, because I wasn't sure, because they give us extra here. So I can look at this and lay it on here and see. I got it backwards. It goes this way. I can lay it on here and see where they cut it off at, because they give you extra. So it looks like they went just past the seam on this one. So, but I can trim it once we're all done. I can just trim it off with laying this on here. So, though that is weird that. No, I do have it backwards. All right, so it does go this way. I had it upside down. I was going to say. Still, either way, it goes just past the seam, but there's no staple on the end out here, so they stapled it back here. I could see that was their last staple, so still run the same. They put a lot more in this one, but I don't think we need that many. They had a fancy tool to do it. You know, maybe we'll do 3 here. I don't know. I don't think it needs it really. It's just do 1 there. Should hold it. Definitely don't want it popping out or anything bowing out. So, you know, look at where they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in this bottom. Yeah, we'll do 4 down here, should be plenty. So if I had a fancy tool that just drove them in there, I'd do 6 in there too. But being I got to do it by hand individually, one by one, I'm going to do 4 in there, I believe. We're going to call 4 good, because I think that'll be just fine. This thing's got a little bend to it. Just trying to straighten it out so it looks good in there. Definitely don't want our trim all crooked. There we go. That looks pretty good. So anyway, yeah, the rest of them are just going to be the same. So I'm just going to keep going with it. So we'll probably speed this up on the video for you, so you don't have to sit here bored to tears watching us do the same staple over and over again, and then we'll show a finished product at the end. So anyway, here we go. All right. I'm pretty pleased with that. I might add a couple more down here. I burned through a couple staples trying to figure this out, so I want to get everything done before I do any extra, not knowing how many staples I got. So I think next we'll go ahead and cut these off here to our length. I'm just gonna go off the old one here. like it. I think and come back along here with a rubber mallet. Yeah, that'll pinch that up. You don't want to make it all wavy, but try and go even as you can across here. Close that back up so it'll slide nice and tight on that pinch weld. Nice. All right. There it is. On there. You see we sandwich back down that seam so it'll go back on the pinch weld. We trimmed it off where it needed to be, where it matched the old one. So now she's ready to go back on. I got a little dent here I'm going to work on, I think. Try and get that out of there, but other than that, you know, from this side, it looks good. I think it's going to work out good. You don't see it. It doesn't stick up above the trim. That's what you want. You don't want to be able to see that thing sticking up out here. You just want to see your trim. So, right on. Well, that's the first one. Hopefully they get better as we go. Like I said, just trying to figure it out. Sometimes you just gotta dig in. If I add any more, or when we get to the next one, I might show a little bit, try and do a little bit closer view of it. I don't know, it's pretty hard. I'm by myself with the camera here, but yeah. See what I do with it. Oh, here you go. These proved to be pretty handy for holding that felt while I drilled it. It wasn't its intended purpose solely, but it worked out. So Basically, I just took a pair of channel locks and I just welded a couple flat pieces of real thin plate I had laying around here, and I had laid the staple on it. Let's see if I can do this. Just laid the staple like that and marked it. And then, like I say, I pinched them together a little bit. These are splayed out a little bit from the factory. However they were made, they're not quite straight. So, and then I just drilled the hole, and I went all the way through. So there's holes all the way through that. So, I mean, you can put, when you're all said and done, you know, the staple will actually go in those holes. But like I say, that it didn't work out the way that I had planned it for smashing them, but it's proved really nice for drilling those two holes to line up for these staples. You can, let's see if I can show you here. So, I gotta turn it over here. So you can just stick those in that slot like so. You probably saw me doing it, obviously, but you know, when it's in there, you put it where you want it and actually squeeze these, and you can hold them while you drill those two, and it holds it in place so the holes don't move when you drill through the one piece. And you can drill all the way through your stainless, and you'll feel it drop a little bit when you go through the stainless, but it actually worked really well for that. I'm going to keep using it for this, but it definitely didn't work out to smash them like a stapler like I was hoping it would work out. But the vice grips idea and the needle nose, so that's really, you know, a screwdriver, pair of good needle nose that you can get in there. I got these little guys too that they tend to help a little and get in there. And then just a pair of regular old needle nose vice grips that I just ground the end of them a little bit so they fit in that gap, because they were a little bit fat and they didn't quite fit in there. I could actually even grind them just a little bit further back, but this proved to work out good. And make sure they're good with some good teeth on them. You don't want some flat, smooth ones. These teeth work really good for biting into the, you know, holding that staple and trying to finesse it a little bit while you're trying to bend it over in there. But that is actually probably the best way I've found to do these. I've been out here off and on the last couple weeks tinkering with this, trying to figure out what the best way to show you guys to do that, and I wasn't coming up with anything. I was getting a little discouraged with it, and thinking about all the ones I still have to do on the car, because this is one window. We still have 3 more to do, and the garnish moldings on the inside have these same felts with staples in them. Those have a little more room. Those aren't as in this narrow little piece of trim, but I do have 3 other doors to do this with, and so I was getting a little discouraged. This actually went fairly quick. I don't mind that. I think it could probably use a couple more staples in this one side for sure, maybe 2. But like I say, they gave me a bag of staples for both garnish molding and the trim on both front doors, I believe. So yeah, both front doors. And so these are all the staples I have for 4 pieces of felt. So I want to make sure I go through them and I have enough to get them all. And then at that point, I'll go back and add some extras that I feel might just help to make it a better felt, you know, attach it better and keep it straight, whatnot. So anyway, I hope this helps you guys. This whole YouTube thing's a new thing for me, and you know, I work full time, so trying to do the best I can. I want to get you guys good quality content. I understand some of this is a little boring. This is definitely not the fun stuff I like to do. But I do feel like it's something that, because it's boring, there's not a lot out. I've looked on YouTube myself, and around the web, and there isn't a whole lot of videos showing how to put this felt on. And we all know that felt doesn't last on these old cars when we find them. A lot of times to fix them up, unless we found some pristine, beautiful barn find that's been stored and heated and all that. I mean, generally all the rubbers and the felts and all that's going to be deteriorated and rotted off of it. So having to redo these, there's not a lot out there showing you how to do them, and I think it's because it's so boring and it's such a pain to do that nobody just takes the time. So I wanted to show you guys some of this boring little bit of stuff. We're going to be doing a lot more fun things on it. It's not in the near future, but in the future we're going to chop it. I plan on lowering the shoebox. I've got some 56 Olds headlight bezels I plan on grafting into the front end on it. We have a DeSoto grill that I'm going to fit into it. There's already been some work done to it. I think we're going to shave the door handles. I'm going to extend the rear quarters and put different tail lights in it, I think is my plan. Probably fill in the gas cap door, relocate the filler. Just hot rod it. It's gonna be a lead sled. We're gonna make it cool. She's gonna be mean when she's done, but anyway, yeah, we gotta get through some of this tedious stuff. I gotta get glass in it so I can drive it around the way it is and just make sure everything works, and we can drive it around a little bit before we go doing too much drastic stuff. Right now it runs. It does move under its own power. It needs a seat cover put on it. I gotta get the upholstery done on that. It needs all the door panels. It needs carpet, headliner. Need to finish the wiring, all that stuff. But right now it's sitting, and the rainy season's coming up here in the Northwest. We're running out of our nice days, and I got no glass in it. So that's why this was the first project, was to get these felts in and the door rubbers and all the glass put in it so that we can close it all up, so it's not just getting soaking wet and rain inside, and animals in it and what have you. So anyway, share, send it out to friends. Hit up your friends, hit your friends up. Tell them to come watch it, check it out if they're into this kind of stuff too. Let's tell them to subscribe, like. I want to help people to get through their stuff and learn the way that I do. And maybe you guys have some better ideas for some stuff, and I'm all ears for, drop it in the comments. Let me know. You think I'm doing something wrong? You don't got to be rude about it, but I'll take some constructive criticism a little bit. I will not tolerate people just being flat out rude and disrespectful, because there's no need for it. It's a fun hobby, and they say nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We do it the best we can, and maybe just because I didn't see one way with my eyes and you've seen it another way with your eyes, doesn't mean I'm wrong. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It's just two different sets of eyes looking at it, coming at it from two different angles. So yeah. So let's keep this channel growing. I hope to get better and better content for you guys. It's just, like I said, the schedule's hard, and I've tried to get other things done that, content made, and things just didn't work out the last couple weeks. So hopefully we get this all straightened out and smoothed out here, so it's a lot more consistent, because if you are on the channel, you want to see content every week. If you're a car guy like me, you're wanting to watch car stuff. I watch a lot of YouTube car stuff. There's a lot of channels I love to watch, and I find it more interesting than a lot of the TV shows they're on. So anyway, guys, till the next time, we'll see you then. and we'll keep on going with this project. Thanks, guys. Later.